Hey y'all, welcome to Freedom Makers. I'm Amanda and today I'm hanging out in my pantry. I just threw some more food in here. I'm really excited about that. Summertime is here and I want to address canning. More women now than ever have been messaging me and asking, is this safe? Can I can this? How long do I can this? What are your resources? Just tons of questions about canning. So I thought, okay, I need to do a video, talk about fearing canning, talk about why you need to get a grip, and how I did. I was really skeptical about canning meat at home there in the beginning. When I first started canning, like, I didn't grow up doing this. My mom's mom canned when she was little. She was a so my grandmother, she was a single mother of 6. She had a huge garden. The oldest 4 were boys, so they had the responsibility of taking care of the garden. They went to school, they came home, they picked, they prepared, and then when my grandmother got home from work, she would can everything. She would be up at all hours canning food. So that was her life. And so my mom didn't have to do that. She was able to go to the grocery store when she had me. So we didn't grow up doing this because it wasn't a necessity. The reasons I can are because, 1, it's cost effective. 2, it is self-sustaining. I can do this and no matter what happens, I know I can feed my family. And the third reason is because it allows me to eat organically, which my body prefers, and I don't have to pay the cost of organic food. We could not afford to eat organically if I was not growing all this food. It just wouldn't happen. There's no way we could afford it. So by producing and then preserving my own food, I can eat organically most of the time. Most of the moms that contact me have the same reasons for wanting to start canning, but they're just scared. They've not been taught, they've not been raised doing this, and don't really know what they're doing or how to learn what to do. Here is my advice. When you start canning, start with something very easy. Start with jellies, jams, something with a lot of sugar in it that you can water bath, because you're not going to be nearly as nervous about that. It's like there's very little risk in water bathing some jelly. You're probably not going to kill anybody with that. That is the first thing people say. Am I going to kill my family and my kids with botulism? Botulism, oh my goodness. So, botulism is real. Like, it's a real thing. Yes, people have died. People have had stroke-like symptoms. Things have gone awry because of botulism. But here's the thing. If you're using a recipe that has been tested, if you understand the rules of canning, and if you follow them, and you're not nasty, you'll be okay. I promise. Like, the reason those recipes are tried and true, the reason that the FDA has approved those recipes is because they have been tested over a long period of time and had the same results. So that is what makes them safe. They've been tested. And so meat, I always know that my meat is going to can for an hour and a half. I know at my altitude what the pressure needs to be in my canner. And so it doesn't matter what kind of meat I'm doing. I know that that is the rule. You do not let it drop pressure, and you do not let it go for less than the allotted amount of time, and you're good. It's really okay. It's not as scary as it sounds. So after you do your jams and jellies for a little while, go to vegetables. Do some things that need to be in the pressure canner. Green beans, potatoes, carrots, anything like that that your family eats, can it. Can it and get used to it. Get used to using your canner, because the more you use it, the less afraid you're going to be, and then when you're ready, you can graduate to meats. And at that point, you are a master canner. So today, guys, I hope that I can inspire you to can without fear. If nothing else, the entire point of Freedom Makers is to perpetuate self-awareness, self-sustainability, right? We want to make sure we can take care of ourselves and our kids, and to do it without fear. Like, you don't need to be afraid. If you're afraid, your kids are going to be afraid, and you're perpetuating this cycle of fear throughout generations. You don't want that. It's ridiculous, and you are the only one that has the power to cut that off. You can just nip that in the bud, decide you're not going to live in fear. The more educated you become, the more peace of mind you're going to have. So read about canning, understand the rules. I encourage you to know why things are a certain way, like the reason you can water bath certain things is because they either have a high acid or high sugar content. So botulism spores are not going to grow in that environment. You need to learn why different things are the way they are, why these rules exist, because then eventually you can create your own recipes. I can my own recipes all the time. I don't have to have a soup recipe. I know what I can put in my canner. I know that I need to find whatever vegetable is in there that takes the most amount of time in my canner, and that's the time you go with. I don't have to find a recipe and be like, oh, carrots aren't in this recipe, so I can't can carrots in this recipe. That is not how it works. But once you understand the rules of canning, you can make those decisions for yourself. So I encourage you to use a trusted source when starting out until you reach that level. There are 2 resources that I use all the time. The first is the National Center for Home Food Preservation website. I use that website a lot because those, when there are changes to be made, those are pretty immediate. I can use a recipe on there and then write it down. If you ever have a power outage or anything like that, you want to have your recipes written down. So if you use the internet as your resource, your main resource, you need to be writing those down as your canner goes so that you always have that written down and at your disposal. I encourage you to have a canning journal so that if you are trying different things from season to season, you know, okay, my family did not care for this recipe, let's try a new one. The second resource is the Ball Blue Book. They come out with a new canning book every year, and you can pick that up at most like home improvement stores, garden centers, Walmart, any place like that usually has the Ball canning book. So you can pick that up really easily. Really, nothing really changes in canning. So most vegetables of a certain kind can for a certain amount of time. Your meat all cans for a certain time. Bone-in meat is a little bit different. Not a big deal. If you're doing broth, it has a certain amount of time. It doesn't matter if it's chicken broth or beef broth or whatever, it's broth. So it's the same amount of time. Once you become really familiar with these things, it's not going to be a big deal to you, and you're going to just be like, oh, well, I know how to do this. So what if it's beef broth this time and not chicken? Like, you know what you're doing. Eventually you will reach that point, but my entire emphasis here is to get your canner going, get a resource, get going, like get started. Now is the time. If you have not built upon this skill set, if you're still living in fear and thinking, oh, I don't know if it's safe. Well, it is safe if you do it properly. Now, if you're a nasty person and you're going to be picking your nose and, you know, doing something weird, don't even bother. But if you have your wits about you, like most of my subscribers, and you're intelligent, you can read a recipe and follow instructions, then you're going to be fine. So I really hope this helps you out. I hope that throwing a little bit of humor in here kind of lightens the mood. I know this is very serious, and so many people are so afraid. And guys, I don't want you living like that. It's not good for you. It's not good for your kids. Our babies look at us, and mama sets the mood. So if mama is scared and panicky and like, this might kill us, then your kids are going to be like, oh no, I can't do anything for myself either because it's going to kill us. Don't do that. Please don't live in fear. Please be courageous. Learn a new skill if you haven't learned this already. Watch this video as many times as you need to hear me say that you can do it. You can do it. You got this. It's going to be okay. Follow the instructions. You can do it. I hope this video helps you out. I hope you're inspired. Go get out there, grab some veggies, get your canner going. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.